No one could have predicted that Governor Mark Sanford's disappearance, supposedly to recharge, would have converged, as we mentioned earlier, with Naked Hiking Day. But on our #1 story in the countdown, it sure did. Therein is contained the power and the glory of our American political system. Louis Black is here to discuss in a moment. First, again, the details. Governor Sanford, whose wife at one point said he was writing something, turns out by his staff's account to have been walking somewhere without telling his own family over Father's Day weekend, specifically along the Appalachian Trail, which it turns out is tied to a tradition of hiking enthusiasts in their birthday suits, arriving each year on the occasion of the summer solstice, which was, as you know, Sunday of this past weekend. Meantime, there's Senator John Ensign, who recently admitted to having had a marital affair, apologized to his Republican colleagues today at the GOP Senate luncheon, the same gathering which had been previously used by Senator Larry Craig and Senator David Vitter when they addressed their own news stories. Senator Ensign's colleagues gave him a round of applause. We assume that's for the apology. Joining us now, as promised. All right, you get the rest of the last. I just got the one in there.
No, that's terrific.
Louis Black, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Me of Little Faith, which is now in paperback. Pleasure to have you here again.
Nice to be here.
Governor Sanford and the hiking excuse, the possibility of the naked hiking excuse.
Who goes hiking naked?
Well, apparently some people do, but I
think
very careful people do.
Very careful. I mean, poison ivy, poison sumac. Seriously, what could you be thinking? What joy would you get?
Gosh, I love the breeze, something like that. But as I postulated earlier, had this better be the truth? Because if this is a cover story, my God, what did he actually do? If this is the cover story.
This is the cover story. It's spectacular. I mean, like you said, the imagination runs wild. I think he simply attacks it as he didn't want to get those Father's Day gifts and have to put that expression on his face of like, oh yeah, this is great, Tommy, an ashtray. You know what nice, and you made this.
His face broke last year during the Frozen Smile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that's sitting there and they bring in the garbage and you go, oh, it's wonderful.
Did they give away the fact, though, that it's an excuse? Because if you say, all right, how do we explain he was away all this time? He's hiking. Oh, okay, he's hiking. That's 2-3 hours. The Appalachian Trail. He's out of touch. There's no cell phones. Nobody would know where he was. All the rest of this. And then somebody says, yeah, Sunday was in fact National Hike Naked Day. That's just going to get thrown in here and come up with a different excuse. It's got to be an excuse because they didn't check that, right?
They have to have not checked it. It would seem that. And then how do you go hike? He went alone.
Yeah.
You don't go hiking alone. I don't think you go hiking.
Hikers don't go hiking alone.
I know, really. It's not normally what people do.
Right.
5 days of hiking, too. That whole concept is more than I can bear.
That isn't hiking anymore, isn't it? That's like a death march, right? You're doing the bridge on the River Kwai.
You are really, and you're doing a lot of whistling, especially if you're naked. The thing to me is that the thing I would like to check is I believe just his leaving the state.
Yeah.
That the economy in that state improved.
Well, and then the irony is, of course, that this is again. What are they throwing together and at what sort of preparation if they're invoking the Appalachian Trail, for which money from the stimulus package that he tried to reject goes to? It's like, let's come up with the thing that has the most bad side effects for the governor. Yep. Appalachian Trail, right? Okay, he wanted some mental stimulus. That's the only thing they left out here.
The thing that I like too is that whenever these stories come up is that the main question I was asked after Bush left office is, what is a comic am I going to do? And I said, because he left office doesn't mean that stupidity fled the country. Yeah, exactly. They really will continue to top themselves.
Well, I was asked this, what are you going to talk about? I said, these people did not move away, and they're going to be angry now, too. So the likelihood of them thinking these things through is going to be down to this, exactly. from here to here. Yeah. It's not as if this is the only wonderful story out there.
Oh, yeah.
Senator Ensign.
Perfect.
But Senator Ensign must be sending new hiking boots to Governor Sanford. Thanks a lot, buddy. Got me off the hook, right?
It did kind of cover his tracks today, didn't it? But but it's a step forward for the Republicans because it's a woman. So we're moving maybe in the right direction for them again. They're back to family values. That whole thing is, how do you, look, and he's putting out feelers that he wants to be the president at the same time he's doing, at what point
at the same time he's putting out feelers. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, I'm here all week. Let's be fair and balanced. There's the Democrat in the equation, the Democrat of Democrats. Mm-hmm. The bad habit of the President of the United States referred to again in the last couple of days, yes. Cigarette smoking. The President says he still sometimes falls off the wagon. Where does this place on the list of recent presidential vices, among sort of duplicitous war starting and interns? Where does smoking rank against those two?
Well, I think it would be great at some point that... because they love to just go nuts over him. But what he should do, if something, something should happen, mm-hmm. like some major event occurs, and what his response should be is to just be walking in front of the White House smoking his brains out. Just going through butt after butt. I'll be with you in a minute.
That'll shut that McCain up. This guy isn't worried enough about this. No, he's out there. In fact, here's the camera shot. You could have a camera. He could just have his own little, back alley behind the White House where you sit out and have the butt.
That would be it. He would just sit there. What do you have to say? And he's just puffing away.
And you give a good kind of presidential, it would work well. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to smoke, but I think you're onto something.
I'm serious. It certainly helped Murrow.
Comedian Louis Black, the author of Me of Little Faith, in the short term.
In the long term, I know, I got it.
It is now available in paperback, Me of Little Faith. Best of luck with the paperback. Always a pleasure to see you.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. That's countdown for this, the 2,245th day since the previous president declared mission accomplished in Iraq. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.